Alright then, are my adventures of slowly wiping out the local Scarlet Chorus gonna continue? Because I'm not entirely opposed to that, but it wasn't exactly the plan. But it's been happening. It's been happening a fair bit lately, honestly. Oh look, more Scarlet Chorus. Are they gonna bicker until I murder them all? Not this time. Ah, misery. People have talked about you, and assumed I knew who you were, and I don't, because I'm more important than you, frankly. Well, must be my lucky day. The Crimson Spear cocks her helm-hidden face to the side, studying you curiously. The name's Misery. You do well to remember it, Fatebinder, as this little town belongs to me. You want to fight for it? And by little, I mean what's left of it after your friend had her way with the place. She lets out a harsh, barking laugh. Not that I'm complaining. Pure destruction really gets my blood going. But enough about that. Let's get to the point. What do you want? Nerat grows impatient that you have not yet killed Cairn. While you dawdle and fail, our army continues to starve. Does he now? She cocks her head to one side, whole body primed and ready for a fight near instantly as she eases into a battle stance, spear drawn faster than the blink of an eye. She holds her stance, violence barely contained, as she waits for your cue on how this exchange is going to progress. Wow, she seems to be assuming that Nerat's impatience means I'm here to kill her immediately, as opposed to being a dick. Going to say the Voices wants a word with me in his tent, are you? Not exactly, no. Back down, or lose that spear fighting arm. Your choice. You may be the Voice's pet Fatebinder, but you're not the big boss in these parts. If you've come to help, then help. But don't forget this is my racket. Nah, I'm not really going to pay much respect to you. She drops her spear into the sheath on her back and crosses her arms, wary as she guards you. I've had my gangs combing the sea for more than 4 spans now, without sleep. We're close to finding that moaning muck pile. Oopsie, made some noise. Sorry about that. Is it that hard to find? Isn't it the source of all the earthquakes and presumably making noise? And also, isn't it a giant? It's weird how it's so hard to find a giant of all things. So where's the intel point us? Word from the locals says Cairn was headed for a spire when he crumbled. We've already checked the one at Gulf Glow, so it's got to be the one at the place the beastmen call Howling Rock. Oh my god, so there are 2 spires I can get to. Named for the handful of minutes each morning when the sunrise alights its concentration of azurelith formations, this valley rests beneath the Aurora Spire in the Stone Sea. Alright, so if I ever get around to doing second playthrough, as I've been hoping to, I think I'm going to go to this region first, if it's going to have 2 spires for me to capture. Assuming that this all goes as how I think it's going to go. Only it isn't so easy keeping an eye on the sky and marching straight ahead. Got a few hundred chasms and double a dozen disfavored separating Halfgate from Howling Rock. I presume the beastmen have refused to lead you to Howling Rock. Right on the mark, there you are. They've been less than welcoming ever since we hunted a herd of them during the fall of Azure. We've had to stoop to less than upstanding methods. Whoa! Why is shiny happening up here? Stone, oh yeah, somebody leveled up from the knowledge, huh? I've sent my right-hand man, Octave, with a slew of furies to recruit or kill the Stone Stalkers at the heart of their den in Stone Down. They know where Cairn is, so I'm saying they'll either help us or get out of the damn way, permanently. Go and join them, if only to make sure he doesn't swive this up for me. Swive? That's not a word I've heard before. Alright. Swive. Alright. I can get us there, but it's not my neck on the chopping block, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I think I get what that means, she grunts and spits on the ground through her mask's mouth slit. That sounds like unnecessary effort. I feel like you'd mostly end up spitting on the inside of your mask, unless it's a really big slit. What's it going to take me to sweeten the pot? Let's see. Nah, I don't care about her gang. Have one of your blood chanters teach me some magic. It's a deal well done. She gives a mocking bow, flourishing her gauntleted arms wide before you. I like you, Fatebinder. But screw me on this and I'll make sure the voices eats you whole. Ha, you think that people can take me down. That's adorable. Whoa! Betray Alliance right here. To be perfectly honest, I think I'm about flaying you and taking over your gang. Yeah. It's real tempting. Interesting how turning on Misery specifically is a betrayal of Alliance, but killing all the other people I've killed isn't a betrayal of Alliance. At this point, I think I'm pretty much going to stick to the chorus path until I get an opportunity to try to get the voices himself removed from commission, but via the whole legal thing. That whole storyline will hopefully pay off. At the very least, I would like to be, if there are going to be Betray Alliance options, I want them to happen at moments that make more sense. Like, I've got this big valuable thing, I'm not giving it to you, die! But instead it's like, betray people when nothing's really happening in the middle of town at random. And so it always feels completely out of time when they give me when they mention it to me. Let's see. Seems plenty of chorus answer to you here, but who do you answer to? Maybe you haven't noticed, but I'm a Crimson Spear, a rank earned with treachery and blood. I'll answer to the voices, none other. Got a problem with that? You can take it up to Arabella, my spear. She jingles the imposing weapon in its holster, proud. You wouldn't be the first Fatebinder she's tasted. You're claiming to have fought a Fatebinder and lived. Wouldn't be standing here to bring about it if I hadn't survived, now would I? Impressed? She cracks her neck. It snapped loud and unnerving, though she hardly seems to notice. Next time you see Nunaval, tell him Misery sends her regards. Beastwoman also has met a human called Nunaval. She chuffs and snorts, amused. Misery juts her chin, impressed. Seems the Fatebinder of War has a better survival rate than even the disfavored's elite. Would like to know how he heals his wounds and why he's so shit at avoiding them to start with. She laughs at a choking, rough sound. Interesting. So he's encountered and fought multiple people and lost, or at least failed to kill them, but keeps escaping alive. I've heard all I need to know. Then I've said all I needed to say. How'd you get your name? I'm not really in mind to talk about it, least of all with a Fatebinder of Tunon. Oh, running with the courts? Just like a Fatebinder to always be sniffing around. If you must know, I joined the chorus back when they invaded the Tiers, and wherever I went, Misery followed. She looks down at the ground in recollection. I ditched home for the biggest army Kairos had, and landed myself in one of the toughest gangs. Of course, we tore through my homeland. Both my parents and siblings took up arms. Nurat entrusted me with their execution. And now I'm here, ruling this pile of rubble. And they're just bones under the ground. Her bronze visage stares coldly back. Story time's over. So the beastmen are giving you problems here in the Stone Sea. It's a matter of perspective, she laughs, hearty and deep, on who's giving who problems. She hucks phlegm through the narrow mouth slit of her mask, leaving a trail of spittle dribbling down her bronzed chin. They kill us, we hunt them. For their added strength to the chorus, or just for their skin, makes no mind to me. Bottom line is, we need to find Cairn. What's up with the beastmen in the town square? My gang helped drag him a couple days ago. The townsfolk are clamoring to skin him alive, but if I let that happen, it'd be a waste of an asset. Left Claw's fast, fierce hunter. Should not be treated like prey. She sniffs, her expression dark as she regards Misery. Chorus claims to help Left Claw, but smells of lies. Honey Claw, we're the ones around here who don't want to skin the beast alive. Of course, we'd happily free him, but with such a crowd at his throat, there's only so much we can do. We're not going to turn the whole of Halfgate against us for the sake of one beast. Let's see. And calling a beast woman Honeyclaw, that's not the smartest idea. The beast woman chuffs, both amused by your remark and in agreement with it. She watches Misery with a predatory, bloodthirsty gaze, tongue laving her bared fangs, but she says nothing further on the matter, entrusting it to you, her chosen alpha. Misery shrugs, seemingly utterly unconcerned, but you notice that during the exchange she has moved her hand to rest on the hilt of her sheathed spear. So you want to conscript the beastmen for their strength. Those beasts are gloriously vicious. I've seen them tear at a disfavored's arm and legs off, through their damned armor. Knowing that, I'd prefer to have them on my side, wouldn't you? Plus, the Stone Stalkers know how to get to the Spire and Howling Rock. Why do you think they know that? Once, this whole realm was in their territory. Now they're taking it back, stone by stone. They're the followers of Cairn, and they know this newly barren landscape better than anyone. She said the beastmen are killing you. The one call 100 blood what gets a bit touchy when we encroach on the tribe's den. But the real problem is one we managed to recruit named Rending Hound. Tell you what, Fatebinder, while you're out in the Stone Sea, if you find Rending Hound and get him in line or kill him for me. You don't know where he is. If I did, he wouldn't still be a problem. What? What? So you don't know where this guy is, but he's in your army. I think that just means you didn't actually conscript him, just so you know. If he's supposedly killing your men and you don't know where he is, that just means you didn't actually conscript him and you've just told yourself that he's on your team. Also, the conversation abruptly ended? That was weird. Is there any more to that? If you're talking to me, it better be because you've got good news. I'm neck deep in Shit Creek, and if I drown, I'm taking you with me. Let's see. Anything else interesting? So why garrison Halfgate for your base of operations? Aside from it being the last city to stand in the rubble, there's nowhere better for shorting up recruits. Until the people of Halfgate swear to an Archon, there's no rights under Kairos' law. Conscript them at Spear Tip if need be. Damn right I will. We're losing bodies every day. To hunger, to beasts, to disfavored, and infighting. Replacement have got to come from somewhere, and unlike Ash's inbreds, we don't shy away from Tearsmen. Don't know if anything else really interests me, so I'm gonna leave. That's enough for me. And we went and leveled up Barrack. I'll avoid leveling him up till I'm ready to leave town. We might get to a situation where we're so close to leveling up, other characters might finish going around too. Let's check with a few people. Irene? Greetings, kind mister. How can I be of service? What can you tell me about the spires in the region? I imagine you have dealings with traders from those areas. Can't say I know much about the spires themselves. I can't stop yawning today, I'm so sorry. Whenever I have random pauses during when I'm reading a lot, even if it's usually because there's some kind of like breathing pattern when you're reading aloud a lot that's not always easy for me to get down, and so just the constant exhaling involved in speaking, specifically for reading for some reason, causes me to yawn more often. But I don't get that problem doing normal commentary because I am perfectly capable of talking normally without any problems, but something about reading aloud somehow breaks my normal ability to breathe correctly, I guess. They've always been there, towering, never doing much of anything aside from casting shadows. I do, however, come across some interesting items from around those parts time and time again. Just last Judge's Day, a fellow sold me a charcoal rubbing that was taken from inside one of the spires, or so he claimed. Well, that could be useful. Haven't seen him since. He said he was heading to Stone Down, so I can't really ask him questions about it, unfortunately. But it may be worth having a look at. Yes, it would. Let's check what she has for sale, and probably grab that charcoal rubbing. Also, I probably have some nonsense to get rid of. Yeah, this is the minor items you can grab. Is there anything else I want to sell? Let's maybe sort through weapons later. Well, this is a crap bronze dagger. Get rid of that. Okay. She probably has a few cool things here. Let's compare this mace. It's one-handed. It's got the armor penetration, but not the DPS, unfortunately. You're still using a bronze hammer? Holy crap. So much time has passed and so many people have gotten cool weapons, but I still am lacking a proper, like, quality one-handed offensive weapon. That's crazy. But yeah, a lot of them tend to be two-handers and stuff like that. But this Iron Mace is not particularly interesting. I'd like to get a cool effect at the very least. Cap of Absorption as grounding. Shock armor. Other than that, how does it compare to, like, what I'm wearing right now? More shock armor, but reduced accuracy and deflection. So it's only great for the specific effect. Sigil of Force, plus 10 control force. Not an element I'm one to use very often. Is that? Oh. These are pretty cheap cores. Alright. I already know Vigor, obviously, because I started with that. I don't have Atrophy, though. Lesser Sigil of Steering Force accent. Strange charcoal rubbing, absolutely. A portion of an unknown sigil has been recorded on the scroll. The charcoal imprint is rough and incomplete, leaving the full design a mystery for now. That could be necessary for proceeding through one of the dungeons. So that's good. Don't know if I want anything else. Let's continue. The parchment contains a partial rubbing of a rune. Though the shape is incomplete, the curved lines are unusual and don't resemble any known sigils. It will be necessary to obtain the complete shape before you can discern its purpose. Which is absolutely a reoccurring thing for us. Blood Chanter Staff. Give me some proper two-handed weapons, come on. There's our Sigil of Atrophy. And Sigil of Staggering Force, lesser. So there's our new sigil. Channeling energy through the Sigil of Atrophy robs the target of vital energy, crippling their body and mind. Atrophy was discovered centuries ago in the East by a cult of mages trying to find a path to eternal life by draining the energies of mundanes. This variation on the sigil of the Archon of Ruin was found to have its own powers. The cult grew in power before being stopped by Fatebinder, sent to judge them. We have 3 variations. So focus intent is it should be the ranged. Is this ranged or local? 2 meters. Okay, this is the touch one. Right, it's called Touch of Atrophy. -3 might and vitality. Cool. Chaotic Descent. There's a 6 meter radius at an 8 meter range. -5% endurance defense and poisoned affliction. So acid rain. I wouldn't mind raining acid, but it's a really expensive spell. It's kind of a later game thing if anyone's going to be able to use it besides Lantry. No one really has high lore. At this point, I'm kind of wishing that I had a... I mean, I like my javelin thrower more or less, but I wouldn't have mind of going back and having my character specialize in a school of magic that none of the other characters are specializing in. Just because I find myself limited in my ability to use the full variety of cool effects you can use. Crippling Coil. This one is Channeled Strength. What's that? Oh, it's the cone one. Okay. 120 degree cone, 4 meter range. It roots them and removes 2 random beneficial effects. So it's a buff remover. Other than that, I got... oh, this is a new one. Accent that allows spells to interrupt. Sigil of Staggering Force. That's actually pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It may be worth checking to see if... oh, you only have healing spells equipped at this point. So not you. But yeah, Concussive Bolt and stuff like that. Let's see. What's the interrupt? 25. That's kind of expensive. Still though, if I can go for interrupt, that could be really useful offensively for some of my abilities. So I think for my main character, having having some of my attacks interrupt would be nice. So let's do that. So that's dazing. So so cool. You'd interrupt them and you'd increase their recovery speed. This one makes them prone, which I believe kind of defeats the purpose of interrupting, because they're going to be knocked down anyway. Unravel Minds. Dazed and stunned. Yeah, stunned targets cannot move or attack, so at that point it's also pointless to interrupt them, because they're already interrupted. And it'd be weird to try to stack interrupts on, like, defense, like, friendly spells, which you can't actually do, but it'd be really weird to try. Let's get back to checking around a little bit. So there's one door over here. Let's check it now before I forget about it. And I'll try to make my laps around and talk to everyone. And maybe I'll get enough experience to level up another character, and I can do both of them back to back before I leave town.
Best woman is fast, silent. Best hunter.
Just gonna rob you guys real quick. Don't mind me. Thank you. So you guys are just unnamed? Okay then. Nice meeting you. Figured I'd check around. One day the whole city might just slide down into the abyss. I figured I'd try going into stealth mode for a second there, because apparently stealth affects your chance at being able to uncover hidden things in the environment. Not this time. Not this time. Oops. Accidentally holding it down now. Sarah. Warm regards, Master Fatebinder. How do you do? I haven't seen many folks of the likes of you around here. Then again, most of the folks I've been bumping into lately are of the Scarlet Chorus. They're not the likes of anything but a rotten. Anything I can do for a nice gentleman like you? What can you tell me about the Scarlet Chorus presence here? Only that they've been mucking about, stirring up trouble for weeks, trying to conscript a lot of us. I wish they'd scurry on. Us gentle folks don't like their methods, Master Fatebinder. Why are you standing here next to the leader to talk to people like this? This seems awfully dangerous to your own well-being. Granted, some prefer the company of the chorus to the disfavored, and I don't blame them. If all the chorus wanted was to save the land, as they proclaim, I'd be happy to aid them, too. But with the way they're seeking to swell their ranks, I think they've got another agenda. Well, obviously. And that would be. Everyone knows there are Earthshakers camped at Howling Rock. Whatever they're tinkering with there, the Scarlet Chorus wants to stop it. Or maybe they just want to cause bloodshed. Either way, they'd need bodies for an attack, wouldn't they? What can you tell me about the Disfavored's operation at Howling Rock? A group of Disfavored entrenched themselves at Howling Rock not so long ago. Damn Earthshakers won't leave no matter what we've tried. She sniffs primly, indignant at the remembrance. Whatever they're doing to that rumbling Archon, it's making the earthquakes worse. We'd be happy to rid them if only to calm the land. I doubt this woman knows the first thing about arcane theory, but she's probably not wholly wrong in her speculation. The Overlord's magical edict is the true source of the tremors. No simple mage could shake the land on this scale, but no doubt the Earthshakers are playing some dangerous game with the magic well beyond their ken. Say I want to help around town, what can I do? Stopping the quakes would be a blessing, that's for sure. Don't guess you've got any thoughts on how to do that, do you? The Scarlet Chorus say they've got a plan, but I don't trust much in their intellect, collective or otherwise. That's all for the moment. And not gonna get a lot out of that conversation. Who's Kalia? There's a lot of named characters around here to check out. I'll go grab this real quick. Oh, that's where Left Claw is. Yeah, we'll get around to that in a bit. Thank you, Fatebinder. Because of you, Callion let me leave. Now I feel like I can live my life how I want. Oh! Right, we talked to her brother back at Lethian's Crossing, and now she's here. Not exactly an upgrade, but she did say she was going to go explore, and I did mention to you guys, not to her, how that's probably a terrible idea with the state of the world. But, you know, you do you, lady. Crazy, crazy lady. Hello? What is that? A scroll sits here glowing with mystical energy. Read it for 48 lore. A scroll... Alright. Sigil of Bounding Bolts 1. Excuse me? Knees? Okay. Allows spells to bounce. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta know. Can I make healing wisps bounce? Tell me. Oh my god. I can make them jump to other allies and heal them. Oh my god. That's crazy for group healing. The problem is, do I want to get rid of potency, or... I can probably get rid of cyclical energies. Yeah, that's the substitute I'd probably go for. I don't need as much cooldown reduction if it's going to bounce to multiple targets, reducing the overall need for heals in the party. But I can still make the cooldowns a little better. Nice. What else can bounce? Can Spectral Blur bounce? No. That'd be neat. Oh, if buffs could bounce. But of course they can't. It has to be a projectile, probably. It's probably the only category it works for. Which really limits it, all things considered. You could make this one bounce. Stagger and bounce. The problem is, once again, everybody else just kind of has crappy stats for most of these. So they can't get away with making these things as cool as they might want to be. Ooh. Let's give this one a shot, though. Oh my god. Make False Pit bounce? Ooh. 2 bounces. That's great, because False Pit's priority isn't isn't the damage or anything like that. It's just making some characters go prone. So a bouncing prone skill that can bounce, it can bounce twice for 5 meters. So if you throw it at a cluster of enemies, it'll hit a whole bunch of people. It has a radius to it too, right? Does it have a radius? I think it has, yeah, a radius of 1 meter. So it could even hit more than the 3 people it bounces between. So you could, that could go through a chain of enemies and just take them all down. Which, it's not the end-all be-all of destroying your opponents, but having a bunch of enemies just stop doing stuff for 4 seconds, being able to spread that through the entire fight, like all of the combatants, is kind of a big deal. That's obviously beneficial.
Sorry, I can't.
Just gonna rob you real quick. Hey! That's always good news. Something's wrong with him. Ooh, bronze. Thank you. Who's this guy? Skovic. Oh. Hello. That's a scholar. Fatebinder Tunon, mercy. Please. Mercy. Kill me. End my torment. I'm begging you. He dry retches, quivering and covered in blood. Let's see. I can say, if I'm gonna kill you, I need to hear what crimes you committed. Or wait, this seems familiar. Or why would I want to do that? Or keep talking. I could actually say that because it's fitting with the previous behavior we've encountered in the past with the same group of people. So wait, this feels familiar. Let me guess, you want me to condemn you to die, even though you've committed, at best, only laughably harmless crimes? Hardly. He starts to struggle, but it ends in a halted cringe. How's this for you? I killed an entire village, men, women, and children, crushed with the snap of my staff, because I had to know if I could do it. I slaughtered them in a landslide and listened to their screams. He grimaces a smile at the memory despite his pain. You have no idea how exhilarating it felt. He eyes you discerningly. Or maybe you do. No, is that all? Will you execute me or not? Even speaking to you is a pain I can hardly bear. Let's see. What? There's a lot of options here. It's definitely not... one of the options is to say that he is innocent due to magician's folly. But that's not the case because you have to have to be unintending. You can't be intending the downside. I can't interrogate him about what's going on with him and why he's in so much pain and what's going on there either. This one's weird. I can just lean in and whisper, "Come closer," and it doesn't tell me what the context of that statement is, or what I'm trying to accomplish, or where it's gonna go, which is weird. So I'm curious. So I'm gonna check the "Come closer" option. I'm gonna whisper at him. For a moment, he only stares, eyes glowing darkly, but then he struggles to lean forward, straining with all his strength against his bonds until finally he howls from his efforts. Oh, jeez. Grab him by the collar and bash his head against the wall until he dies. Wow. So that's my whole come closer thing? Jeez. So I can kill him under a rock based on his own based on his own behavior. I can have him tortured for 6 spans straight. I don't even know what a span is. A week? I never encountered the word span in the writing of this game until I got here, I think. Let's see. Yep, I'm just gonna have him granted his ending. A just end, he grunts, nearly breathless from the pain. As long as it comes quickly, I no longer care. Hurry. Send for my executioners. If a quick death serves to remove this killer from my sight, then so be it. Does that happen often? Folks trying to use you as a means of suicide? I've been tied to a Scarlet Chorus post. I know that desire to be free, even if it means death. Yeah, it happens weirdly often, actually. Like, this is the, yeah, this is like, this is at least the second time, and I get the feeling it won't be the last one.